Hello, good morning. We are live. Let's see. We are talking about Sagittarius, 5 things to do during Sagittarius season. Sorry, I'm just checking. I have my other screen over here, so making sure everything's working. All right, so I'm going to hide my page and mute my computer. Right. So I'm really excited about this. Sagittarius is one of my favorite signs. I have very little Sagittarius in my chart, and it's just one of those signs that I'm really attracted to, which makes sense because I actually married a Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon, so I guess I do like it. But anyway, that's what we're talking about today. If you are watching a replay right now, you're not here live, then let me know in the comments that you are a replayer so that I can come back and talk to you later. I'm going to make sure that this is shared into the Facebook group so that everyone can see me there. Well, I don't see it yet, but that's okay. So, let me just introduce myself. That seems to be an important thing to do. My name is Maggie. In case we haven't met before, I am the owner here at Mumbles and Things, and this is a witchcraft blog and academy. So we have resources for new and experienced witches, and that's basically what we like over here. So again, we're talking about Sagittarius season, which will begin on the 22nd. So we're not quite into Sagittarius season yet. We are in Scorpio season still, but it's right around the corner. And again, I'm really excited about that. I see some comments coming in. We have Violet says hello, hi. Hi, Megan. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Des. All right. So comments are working. That's always a good sign. So I thought this time I would start by drawing a tarot card to kind of help us set the theme for and set an intention for this live session. So I'm going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake and Elizabeth Alba, which is a great deck. If you haven't seen it before, here's the book. And it comes in a nice little box. So Everyday Witch Tarot, and the cards are really beautiful. This is what the backs look like. So I'll go ahead and draw a card to help us set sort of an intention. Oop, one fell out. That's probably the one we need, huh? So we have the Hermit. This is one of my favorite cards, and this is actually one of my favorite depictions of it. I think this is a really beautiful way to show what the Hermit is. So you can see that this witch is sitting in front of a fire, and in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck, the light is in a lantern, and that represents the like inner wisdom, what you know inside, and that you found that and you can follow your own light at that point. You don't need to seek the light from others because you have your own light to follow. And the Hermit also, to me, talks about being alone, and how being alone isn't really about being lonely. Sorry, I had to look at it myself to get into it. But that loneliness is different from being alone, and that sometimes it's really important to be alone so that we can hear that inner light, that we can follow our truth inside, and that it's really a beautiful way to be, that you can sit, and in this depiction she's sitting in meditation or just contemplation in some way, and she's able to hear her own messages that are coming through her mind. And meditation is a way to take yourself out of your day-to-day routine, which is really important. It's a good way to get a different perspective on your life and see things in a new way, which I think is really Sagittarius energy as well. Sagittarius is a non-committal sign. It's all about taking a step away from what most people consider normal and expanding your horizons and seeing things from a new perspective and traveling and new adventures and all those things. So I think that this card came to us at a good time. I think it really represents what Sagittarius can mean. So I guess let's get into the 5 things that you can do with Sagittarius energy. Seeing a couple new comments. Oh, great. Okay, Des says, I'm a Sagittarius. Amanda says it's very Sagittarius. Also, they love the outdoors and camping. Good insight there, Amanda. And Jessica says good morning. Good morning to you as well. And oh, your Amanda's husband is a Sagittarius as well. So good company here. So I'm not seeing all the comments, so I'm actually going to pull it up on my phone because that is going to be better. And that way I can see them as they're coming in. Okay. Cool. So in case you don't know, the sun visits all of the zodiac signs throughout the year, and that is where we get our sun sign. So I'm a Gemini, and that is because the sun was sitting in the sign of Gemini when I was born. And so the sun is going to be moving into the sign of Sagittarius on the 22nd this year. And so, so those are the sun signs, but even if you're not the sign that the sun is in, you still feel that energy coming around us. So we can feel the influence of that astrological energy during that zodiac season. So in 2019, the Sagittarius zodiac season begins on the 22nd and it will end on December 21st. And I say that it's in 2019, these are the dates, because the dates aren't the same every single year. In case you're not aware, the zodiac seasons are aligned with the equinox and the solstices throughout the year. So Ostara and Mabon, and then Litha and Yule are the solstices and equinoxes. And these change every year based on the sun's position. So one common misconception about the zodiac wheel is that it's aligned with the constellations, but in fact, the constellations were assigned after the sky was divided, and so as the planet shifts and changes over the years, the constellations don't line up exactly with where they were when the zodiac was invented. So instead we look at the position of the sky based on those 4 points throughout the year, and then divide that segment into 3 new segments, each quadrant into 3 segments, and these each take up 30 degrees of the sky to make up a total 360-degree circle or wheel around us here on Earth. So that's how we determine those seasons. And so in case you hadn't heard that before, that's why the dates change. And that's where you also get things like cusps, because one horoscope in the newspaper might include certain dates, whereas another horoscope in the newspaper would include a different set of dates, and that's just because of those changes, that it's not the same every year. So the year you were born might be a different date for the season than the next year, and so someone who's born on the same date might not have the same sun sign as you, and that's where we get that idea of cusps. But anyway, we are going to be looking at 5 things to do during Sagittarius season. And the first one is to set yourself free with travel. So Sagittarius energy is all about seeking wisdom and looking in unique places. So if we think about that Hermit card again, seeking wisdom inside yourself is one of those sources, but also learning from other people externally. So this archetype really enjoys traveling, and as Amanda mentioned, camping and being outside, and hunting is associated with this zodiac sign as well, because of the hunt for new experiences, new philosophies, new ways of looking at life in general, and learning all that you can. So traveling is one really great way to open up your mind and look at things from a new perspective. But we'll talk about some more things, but I just want to mention that the quality of Sagittarius is, or the modality, or whatever word you want to use, is mutable, which means it's changeable or adaptable. And so the modes of each sign, they affect how a sign reacts to something that stimulates it. So a mutable sign is more unstable because it's adapting and able to change, and it is really influenced by its environment. So that's what you see with Sagittarius, that whatever's going on in that environment is influencing the input, what you're taking in. Your environment is changing it. And so So that's kind of where part of that idea of taking in new things and traveling and looking for new experiences come from, is that mutable energy. And there are other signs that are mutable. Gemini is one of them, and I'd have to think about them, but I think Aquarius and Virgo? No, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, the signs, they go in a cycle. So there's 4 mutable signs, and after Sagittarius comes Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign. And so cardinal signs are starting new things. And so Sagittarius is kind of creating a space where a new thing can emerge. And then Scorpio is a fixed sign, which comes before Sagittarius. And so fixed signs are about maintaining what's happening. So maintaining the thing that the cardinal sign started, and then the fixed sign will maintain it, and then the mutable sign will change it so that something new can emerge. And so that cycle repeats 4 times each year. So we have Sagittarius opening up new things for Capricorn, which is coming up next. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to say here, is that Sagittarius's desire for adventure and new insights is all in an effort to make changes and adapt to the environment and shake things up, so that when we move into Capricorn, we have a new way of looking at things to make something new emerge. And the other part about Sagittarius is that it's easily bored, because it wants to find all these new distractions. It wants to get away from routine and predictability, and move away from the distractions. It's considered like a trailblazer sign, for the same reason as it being a mutable sign, that it's opening up new avenues of thought, stirring things up, making space for something new. And again, travel is a really great way to get out of your routine for a bit and open up your mind. And so if traveling far from home isn't really something that you're interested in, and that's okay. Some people are not super comfortable with travel in general, or if travel isn't super accessible to you as well, it's okay to think about travel as more of like just creating change in your routine, making something different than what you would expect on a day-to-day basis. So you could try driving home a different way from work instead of, your regular route that you normally take, or visiting a different coffee shop in the morning instead of your usual place that you like to go, just trying something new, see what else is out there. Or even something as simple as like buying a new brand of toothpaste or something easy like that, just to look at things from in a new way, experience something new, get away from your normal routine. Because Sagittarius is the sign that knows that all things can always be better. And so sometimes in order to improve things, we need to look at them from a new perspective, and then we can see how blessed we actually are, because we are looking at things from outside what we normally look at them from. So I'm seeing these comments come through, and I really wish that I could see them, but I can't find them. So sorry about that. Maybe I can find them on here. Usually I can see them. Oh, here they are. Oh, good. Okay, I can see you all now. All right. So Violet asked if the cusp changes, and then you said got it. So I think I answered it already, but basically the cusp is kind of the same, but but the dates of the edge of the sign is different, and that is why there is a cusp. So Lynn says good morning. I say good morning back. Hello, Michelle. Megan says there's so much to learn in astrology. Yes, there's always more to learn in all sorts of topics. So it can be overwhelming, but just start with one thing at a time. Des says, I swear you're talking about me to a T. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And oh, that's a great idea. I don't know which one it was, but I'm glad you thought it was great. So, all right. So I'm going to move on to the second thing to do during Sagittarius season, Adrian says hello. Hi, Adrian. So the second thing to do during Sagittarius season is to learn something new. So similar to the previous thing about traveling somewhere or doing something different, but Sagittarius is represented by the centaur, which is a creature that is half horse on the bottom half and half human on the upper half. And so the centaur stands with these 4 hooves firmly on the ground, and this represents being very practical and having a firm grasp on reality. But then the human half is an archer and is pointing their bow and arrow towards the heavens, and this represents that pursuit of knowledge, and especially the philosophical and spiritual ideas. So being able to explore new ideas, but still being able to stay grounded in what is true and factual and like the physical world. So the importance of learning something new is that when you learn something, all these opportunities open up for you. So it's important to sharpen your mental arrows, so to speak. And you can do this by studying a subject that you've been wanting to learn about, like maybe astrology, Megan, or by deepening your understanding of a topic that you already know about and you just want to dig in a little bit more. So learning something new is a really great way to kind of channel this Sagittarius energy and make the most out of this season. I'm going to pour myself some tea, so I hope you all don't mind. Give you saw my selfie. I'm still drinking out of my little bunny mug. All right, so number 3, what to do during Sagittarius season is to dig into the deeper meaning of life. So again, all of these kind of go together because of the overlying archetype of Sagittarius being about expanding your horizons and learning things and looking at things from a new perspective. So digging deeper into the meaning of life, this archetype of Sagittarius is like the earthbound adventure. As I mentioned, the centaur that's grounded in earth and pointing towards the heavens. And so it's seeking new ideas, new spirituality, new philosophies and things like that. And so this is a fire sign. So we talked about the modes of being cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So there's also a way to describe the zodiac as being one of the 4 elements. And so actually, if you learn each of the 4 elements and each of the 3 modalities and their combinations, then you can really have an understanding of each of the signs because none of them have the same combination. So Sagittarius is the only mutable fire sign, and Capricorn is the only cardinal earth sign, and etc. So they kind of, this can help you to understand astrology on a really basic level if you're interested in learning. But Sagittarius is this fire sign, and fire signs respond quickly to new things, and they favor like taking action and moving in to places and being really confident and things like that. They value ideas and like the first spark, so the first spark of an idea. So if you think about the 3 different fire signs, Aries is the first fire sign, it's the first zodiac sign, but that one's like the first spark of an idea. So Aries starts things off with like you light a match or light a lighter, and then the next fire sign is Leo, which is like the roaring flames, and it's the great leader that, you know, you think about Leo the lion is just like strong and powerful. And then when you move to Sagittarius, this is the last fire sign, and this one's more like the coals. So they're still glowing flames, maybe small flames, but it's like the coals of enlightenment. So there's all these different levels of fire based on the modality that they're associated with. So Sagittarius is enlightenment, and so this is a really good time to seek out these answers to some of life's biggest questions, seek out the great mysteries of the cosmos, figure out your place in the universe, and things like that. All right, so I see a new comment. Bridget says, I'm interested as why I found this video. Must be a sign. I don't know how you found us, but I'm glad you're here, Bridget. So we are talking about the 4th thing to do to make the most out of Sagittarius season, and that is to express gratitude and to be joyful. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, which is all about gratitude and joy. It's the jovial planet and the planet of good luck and optimism and success and generosity and the flow of wealth. So Jupiter is about like receiving wealth and being abundant, but also sharing that through acts of generosity. And so thinking about the words like affluence, which has the root word of flow, so how things flow into your life and how things flow out, what you can do to pass those things on. And you've probably heard me say it before, but gratitude is super important to magic because it changes the way that you look at things, and which is a good thing to think about with Sagittarius, because we're always looking for a new perspective during this season. And so the more that you look for things to be grateful for, even if it's something really simple like, oh, my tea is warm, I'm so grateful for that, or something like that, the more that you will see things to be grateful for, and you'll also see more things to be grateful for come into your life because those are the things you're focusing on. So this is a really good opportunity to focus on gratitude. I mean, all the time you really should be thinking about gratitude, but when Jupiter is ruling over this energy, it's especially important, and you can see some really powerful things happening because of that. So I mentioned before the centaur that's pointing his arrow or her arrow to the heavens, and so this is the archer aspect of Sagittarius. And so if you think about when you aim, I don't know if you've ever done archery, but maybe you've shot a gun, or maybe you've just I don't know what else you aim, but anyway, maybe anything that you aim, you have to trust that once you let go, then it's going to land where you want it to. And so that's what the archer is telling us, that you aim the best you can, you try to be very specific about what you want out of life, and then you let go of the arrow and hope and trust that it will land on its mark. And gratitude is one of the really powerful ways that you can be confident that you have put in the right energy and that you are aligned with what you want. So that's part of the Sagittarius energy as well. All right, see some more comments. All right, Des says, my parents are both Leos and my daughter is an Aries. You are full of fire in your family. Megan says, I was thinking that Leo is full-fledged goal mode, accomplish all the things, and Sagittarius is a contemplative energy and a time to reflect on the accomplishments made in Leo and planning new things. I think that's a really good way to look at it as well. And as I said, the gratitude thing lasts throughout the year, but I really like the way you put that, Megan, that it's about like Leo's the big energy of like, and that makes sense too, because the sun's a lot more powerful at that point of the year as well. Violet says, Thanksgiving holiday is about abundance, gratitude, and giving. Perfect, and that's right, usually in Sagittarius season or just around, so that's a good connection as well. And then Violet also said lots of fire signs in your family, so. All right, so this is the final thing to do during Sagittarius season to make the most of this energy. So, remember to look at the bigger picture. So again, Sagittarius is that big picture, expand your horizons type of energy, and it's about connecting with the divine, whatever that means to you. So a relationship with some aspect of divinity, however you see it, can be really rewarding to any sort of life, however you live your life. And whether you interact with a specific God form or a abstract concept like truth or love or the universe or God or something like that, maybe you see yourself, you are the source of divinity. So however you see divinity, there is some sort of power that fuels magic. And so building a relationship with the divine, doing this during Sagittarius season because it's all about enlightenment and spiritual pursuit, this is a good time to really dig into that. And spirituality looks different for everyone. That is just the way it is. So however you look at spirituality, your personal results will be different from someone else, but Sagittarius can help you to figure out what those spiritual beliefs are and to celebrate that journey that you're on. So maybe you already have, explored your spirituality, or maybe you haven't spent much time thinking about it, but wherever you are, whatever you believe, both consciously and subconsciously, because sometimes we have beliefs that we don't know that we have, all of these things impact how you experience life and how you look at life, how you perceive life. So Sagittarius is a good time to start to consider how your beliefs influence your understanding of yourself and your understanding of other people, how you interact with other people, the world in general, so how the world works, how you engage with nature, morality and ethics, good and evil, what those mean, and the afterlife as well. So you can start to dig into and explore these aspects of your spirituality and your belief system during Sagittarius season. All right. So that is all 5 things that we have. We have, Bridget says, I'm grateful I found you guys. Me too, Bridget. I'm glad you're here. Michelle says, my favorite quote on gratitude is, do not pray when it is raining if you do not pray when the sun is shining. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm going to start to pray when the sun is shining. And Des says, I love this. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. So Sagittarius season, we're coming out of Scorpio season, which is often really heavy. It's about a lot of like internal reflection and learning about how your psyche is, and a lot of shadow work is often associated with Scorpio. And we're moving into Capricorn season, which is an earth sign, so it's really heavy as well. So this Sagittarius season is this like light and bright and like a fun in the middle of winter type of energy. And it's a good opportunity to just point your arrow in the direction of fun and laughter and really enjoy this time. So I hope that you will go out and prioritize creating a life that you want, and to seek adventure and travel, whatever that means to you, however freedom looks to you. If it's not, traveling around the globe, that's okay, but if it is, then that's awesome too. To learn new things, whatever you're interested in learning, to really absorb the Sagittarius energy and go forth and do all that fun stuff. So I hope that is good. And it's also time to like reflect on what you've learned throughout this year, because we're coming to the end of the Gregorian calendar. Might not be all, there's all different calendars to look at, but we're coming to the end of the Gregorian calendar, and so you can reflect on all the things that you've learned up to this point as you prepare for the next year. All right, so I'm just going to check and make sure I didn't miss anyone. And Des says, LOL, my son is a Capricorn. My sister is so Capricorn. She has like 4 planets in Capricorn in her chart. So it's, but she's great. Capricorn's great. Okay, so I'm gonna sign off now, unless anyone has any questions. I'm gonna drink my tea and just give you like 1 minute, or until I feel awkward. All right. All right. I guess we're all good. So I am going to, you're welcome, Amanda. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I will see you all later. And, oh, I should mention, there's a blog post about this. So if you feel like you are better with reading, then you can read my blog post. It's similar, but different. And it's in the comments. And there is a tarot spread that you can find in there. So if you want to have a tarot spread for Sagittarius season, then you can find that in the blog post. And oh, I'm seeing some more questions now. Lynn says, thanks, very interesting. Gotta go to work. Have a good day, Lynn. Megan says, thank you for this. You're welcome. You're welcome as well, Des. And yes, Michelle, this will be available to watch as soon as I click live. I think Facebook takes like a minute to process, but yeah, it'll be available. Don Marie says, thank you. Megan says, until I feel awkward. Yep. Yep, that's true. All right, you're welcome, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.